We all face love, life, and hard choices every day. This is the Dilemma of a Good One podcast. Welcome.
Genesis to Revelation. This the story of a good one. In the middle of the madness. Let it be known.
Yeah, hey, what's happening, everybody? Scriptures say he made them both male and female in the beginning. You know what I mean? And so that's what we're doing today for the first time ever. It's Righteous Ron, the classic DJ from the Bay. And again, Righteous Ron, not because I'm there, but I'm striving for it. You know what I mean? I'm striving for it. And today's podcast is going to be, it's entitled, as you see, His Pain, Her Pressure, Their Race. What does that mean? That means that many of us strive to be good or to get better and to be gooder, if that's a word, you know what I mean? And that's male and female. There are some good men in this world. There's some good women in this world. And what does it mean to be good? Good mothers, good fathers, good brothers, sisters, cousins, nieces, auntie, and even children, because, you know, we're coming up to the big age. A lot of us, we're actually raising and taking care of our parents now. You know what I mean? I say raising because they go into their second childhood, and it becomes incumbent upon us to help them through, to navigate their days while they're still here on the earth. You know what I mean? So I'm excited again, as I already alluded to. I have a young lady on the phone, a colleague of mine, on the pod, a colleague of mine whom I've known for, I don't even remember how long, but we definitely went to high school together. We graduated together. Actually lived in the same neighborhood together. You know what I mean? And always been cordial throughout the years. She's been cool with me. I've been cool with her. So it is my privilege, it's my pleasure to introduce to y'all and then let her tell y'all a little bit about herself. But this is Miss Shishi. How you doing, Miss Shishi?
Hi, how you doing, Ron? Rapping Ron. DJ Ron. Yes. My name is Shalina Smith. That's my government name. It's okay. They call me Shishi. But born and raised in Richmond, California. 19th Street, South 19th Street by way of 4th and Main. South Side. Let's see. What elementary schools I went to. I went to Ford Elementary School. Went to Downers Junior High School. Walter T. Helms Junior High School. Kennedy, that's where it's at. Graduated in 19.
School
that's
everybody
where it's at. Graduated in 19. Everybody wanted to off of Cutting Boulevard. I mean, my mother went there. She graduated from there. A couple of other aunts and stuff graduated from there, and Richmond High School. My dad went to John Sweat. He was a Rodeoan. But yeah, that's the quick cliff notes of Shalina.
no, and that's perfect because we're going to get to know you in the course of the podcast. You know what I mean? But you said a couple of key things in there, and I just realized as I picked up what you put down. So you went to Downer. That's where you actually met your Brenda Hannah and your Daedras and stuff like that. Am I right?
Yeah, Daedra. Yep, exactly. Everybody that's where we started, 7th grade. Unfortunately, we didn't get to finish out because Downers had closed down, and then I was sent to Walter T. Helms. Everybody else was probably sent to Pinole and Pinole Junior and all the other stuff. Yeah, Portland. Yeah,
and I think that's the same year they closed Adams, the livest junior high school in the district. They closed after our 7th grade year.
I think my brother went to Adams. I think.
They reopened it a couple of years later, so that would make sense. Because a couple of years later, they rethought it and said, "Oh, what we done?" And they reopened it. But they had sent us to Portland, which was my worst year by far of my school years. That 1 year at Portland was just, I hated it up there. Hated it.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
It was different, and they let you know that it's different, and the area it was in.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you. Kennedy's been rebuilt. Shout out to Kennedy High School. It's been rebuilt.
Yes.
Kennedy did not have windows when we were at Kennedy, and I'm glad because, like I said, everybody wanted to go to Kennedy. It was their school. We had, ladies and gentlemen, people that's in the Bay Area going to understand this term when I say it, but we had a sideshow, two sideshows every day, one at lunchtime and one after school every single day. And had there been windows, it would have been all day every day. Because if they knew that we were still able to see them, and I would have been one looking out the window, which I did up at Portland because Portland had the beautiful views of the Bay Area, that $1 million view.
Yes.
And looking at the Bay Bridge and the Bay itself and that beautiful, seductive view and everything, I was just, there was that. And then there was one day, Mr. Monasta, if he living and, he'll repent. But the man stopped me one day. He said, Ronald, I said, what's up? He said, why do black people have so many cousins? And
Wow.
I didn't.
What?
You know what? I didn't know what to say or how to answer that. And I know better now that that totally was out of line. But
That was totally out of line, but I understand probably the fascination of that because everybody's our cousin, right?
that's right.
You got your real
Yeah,
cousins,
that's right.
your blood cousins, and then you got your cuddy.
Yeah,
You know,
my mama cool with your mama. They hang out and have to take a shot and maybe hit a piece every
exactly.
once in a while.
Yeah,
We cousins.
exactly. Yeah.
So look, you said one more thing too. You mentioned Fourth and Main, and I didn't realize that you grew up down that way. I may have even crossed paths with you, but my grandmother's house was on 3rd and Main. We still got that house. Shout out to the Richmond, y'all. Everybody
I
know that
knew
house.
you. But I knew you. I think I knew you back then because we have, we have Adagi over there, over around the corner. But she went to Deanza. Then you had Joseph Posey and we stayed in the same apartment complex. Joseph Posey was in the back. I was in the middle. Toriano and Daedra and them was across from me.
Yeah.
Marcel and his Marcel Williams and his sister Samantha.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Marcel.
They was rest in peace. He was upstairs in the corner, like a corner apartment. We all played in a little area down there. Running the streets. What's his name? Billy Ward around the corner.
Billy Ward lived around the corner.
My grandmother
William Jefferson
around the
across the
corner. Yeah, William Jefferson is across the street.
And washing them down the street. Man, we had folks all around.
But Watu and all of them. Yeah.
Watu and Lamont around the other corner. Man, Richmond was.
Yeah.
Richmond, and I don't know when
Yeah. Miriam. I don't
know when last time you've been through there, but it is now. It's turned to Little Mexico. To be honest with you.
I was down there for a funeral repast, and the repast was on the next corner of where I grew up. And it does look different, and it is Mexico. I think Richmond is now turning into, it's being gentrified. Everything, everything must change. I know we have to evolve, and it's a process. But it's changing. It's really looking kind of different. My grandmother's house, and we shouldn't have sold it. You sell it for, that's grown folks' business. When I say grown folks' business, that's my mama and her sister business. But they ended up selling the home on 22nd and Cutting. And now when I go to the grocery store, to the little convenience store across the street, I just park in front of the old house and I be looking like, dang, her house turned into a little rancheria.
It's happening all over the place.
Because they got the pillars up there, they got the bars, it's straight Mexican. So I guess some Mexican folks bought it and they turned it to a rancheria or whatever. Yeah. I'm like, dang. Because when we used to get dropped off at our grandma's house, and we used to catch the bus on Cutting, Bruce went to Coronado. So he used to walk to Coronado. So Coronado,
like Maurice Bernstein. Okay.
Yeah, he went to Coronado. He was the only one that went. He was the only one that didn't go to Ford and all of them like me and my brother did. Yeah. So
Shout out to Beta too. Also graduated with us.
Yes.
But yeah, we all all up and down through there. That's the magic of the Richmond we grew up in, and it's unfortunate, like you said, it's been gentrified. Mostly Hispanics, and they my folks. You know what I mean? No problem with them.
Yeah. But you just see it. You just really see it. Oh, shout out to Manuel, R.I.P. He lived around the corner from my grandmama's house, so that's how we met.
Oh, so you was on the back streets of 22nd Street. Okay, over there. Dan Smith, them over there. Devin around the corner from there, and then Manuel around the corner.
Devin around the corner. Yeah.
Come on now.
So way before any school, I knew Manuel. When we was 8, 9, 10 years old, little fat ass. Yeah.
Back then, he was doing wheelies on bikes, and then later to do it on dirt bikes
and the truck. Yeah.
Personally, the only person I knew that could take a Harley up, and I think that contributed to the love that Manuel got. This past way, the motorcycle set, they still ride for him. They got a song for Manuel.
They do.
And they still, they do. Still ride for him. Every year they do his runs. Every year.
Yep. And I smile every time because you never, when we're kids, you never think of what type of impact you're gonna have on somebody when you get grown, and
right.
and I'm happy that I'm alive to see that.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I'm sad that he can't see it, but
Same.
I'm glad that his daughter, was able to see that.
Same here. So what we're gonna go ahead and we've already begun it, but you know what? I'm gonna just do this real fast. Just give me some quick answers. I call these dilemma beginners. It's 9 or 11 questions. You know what I mean? Maybe 10, depending on how it go. But my first question though is gonna be this. Do you consider yourself a good woman? It's all up to you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do consider myself a good woman. Yeah.
Right. Next question. I know the answer, but this is for the people. Have you heard or seen any of my content, any of Righteous Ron, the Dilemma of a Good One podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
I have. Yeah.
Now, do you care to say your age? If you don't say, I won't say mine because then they won't tie it all together. But I just wanted.
I'm gonna say it because I'm proud, because it's a blessing to get. Because as you know, recently, we've been losing our classmates. That's not even touching or just touch the big 50. I will be 53 December 14th.
Happy birthday in advance.
So it's a blessing.
And I pray the Lord bless you with many,
Thank you.
many more. Many more.
Thank you. And it's been, I wouldn't say it's been a hard road, because it has not been for me. Life has life.
Yes.
As normal. But growing up, you just never think that, 53, your 50s is old. We look at our parents and be like, as a kid, 50-something was old. But 50-something, my mama was still going to Sweet Jimmy's and Rudy's.
Man, I used to,
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm still spry, like 53 is not, so when people say, Shlin, you about to be 53, yeah. Dang, I thought you were, like at least like 45 or something like that. I'm like, I wish I could sometimes go back to my, some things that I've learned throughout the, years. And if I go back, I'll be even tougher. Boy, if I knew what I know now.
Since I gotta say,
so
I feel you. Like Teddy Pendergrass, life. He said, "Life is a song worth singing." You know what I mean? I just believe that it's up to us to sing it. You know what I mean? And I'm like the OJs. I like to sing happy songs. You know what I mean? Songs of positivity or whatnot.
Yes.
And just keep on living and enjoying it while we living it, because life does life, and hey, it's all up to how we live it. You know what I'm saying? So.
Exactly.
So I'll answer this one for you. I know you don't have any children. Probably a mother figure to quite a few though. But have you ever been married before?
No, I have not been married. Marriage is very, very, very serious thing to me. The children thing. If I would have had children, I would have wanted it to be the whole thing, the marriage. First.
Yeah.
And, we have, and no pun intended for anybody who's a baby mama and baby daddy or whatever. I just feel that people, they do backward shit to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I've been told many a times, or asked, not told, asked many a time, we gonna have kids? Yeah, nigga, no. Where's a ring? Well, I don't even like you like that, but being a baby mama is more acceptable, and marriage is a big X. You know what I'm saying? I just never did understand that, and having a child for someone, that means, in my opinion, you have to trust them. You have to, respect them. Yeah. I'm giving you my body, and I'm going through changes that no other species will go. Oh, well, other animals do go through childbirth, but I'm putting my life on the line, because they say having a baby is the closest thing to death that you can ever get to. You know what I'm saying? All of that you have to be worthy. I'm not just gonna be giving up my eggs for that, and then later on I can't find you. I can't. I'm going to the block to try to get $20 for some milk, and I've seen. No, I just did not want that type of thing for me. And during that time, the prime time ages, I just didn't see or haven't had any dealings with someone that I will be willing to put my body on the line for like that.
Well, you know,
And once I thought that I was gonna do that, they did something that proved, yep, that nigga ain't ready. So.
let me tell you, because I'm sure glad that you said that. I was not expecting that answer, but I'm glad that you said it because it ties into the whole thing, right? His pain, her pressure, and it's our race. You understand what I'm saying? Unfortunately,
Yes.
many people will believe that it's just our race that has the baby mama, baby daddies, and the drama, the subsequent drama and everything.
It's not.
It's not necessarily true. It's what we as a people are exposed to, because we talked about Hispanics just a minute ago, and I don't know if you know my guy that he used to do the music over there on 24th Street. Alex, good dude. He did my music for me in '96. He's working at a shop, then they had their own shop over there on 24th Street. Now he paints vehicles.
Oh, okay. No, Alex.
He's been doing it for a minute, and he was saying that he said they're saying is the first one to kill another Mexican is a Mexican. Is the first person a Mexican worries about killing him is another Mexican. And I said, wow, because a lot of my folks, that's how we feel about us. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we don't even want to talk about other races because the whole podcast is to build up. It's to point out and hopefully give lessons, give life lessons, love lessons, and so forth. But the truth is, we all have our ups and our downs and everything else. You know what I mean? So when you say that, and I don't know if you know this, but it's actually in scripture where it says that the birthing process is going to be difficult. You understand what I'm saying? And a woman's desire is going to be for her husband, but it doesn't necessarily mean a desire like a love desire. It means a desire because she's been through so much and done so much. She felt like he's not worthy to overpower her because what she did, he ain't going to be able to do it. You know what I mean? So she wants to overpower him mentally. You know what I mean? So there goes the pain part of it, and a lot of brothers will step back and be like, man, I'm not dealing with all that. It's not necessary. And there you go, and this is my personal opinion, you understand what I'm saying? But this is also my personal observation, being through it personally, but watching it so many other times, the same thing happened again, that I'm just like the way you said it. I'm telling my children, my sons, man, make sure y'all get to know one another. Make sure you locked in.
Yes.
Make sure she's the right one. Make sure she's a good woman. And then, do that thing right. Get married and have them children, because the Bible knows, the Lord knows that if the two are married, it's a lot harder to break the bond apart than it is a baby mama and baby daddy. Not to say it can't be done.
It is.
But you're less apt to do so.
It is.
You see what I'm saying?
And I think that's why people opt to try the Kool-Aid first.
And there's the problem right there a lot of times, because Kool-Aid is good. You like to have it every day.
Kool-Aid is good. Sugary, it tastes good, especially when it's cold. But I think that's the problem. And I think sometimes us women, we fall in love with potential.
Yeah.
We see the potential in a man. Oh, he can potentially do this and he can potentially do that. And we fall in love with that and run with that. And then we have children by these men, and the potential that we saw actually disappears because here comes the thing where he has to be a provider. Yeah. So if he was going to school, now he stopped going to school. Now he's hustling on the corner, or now he's scamming, or now he's doing stuff and just to make ends meet. Now here she comes, she's barking at him. You don't do this, you don't do this, you always gone. She wants time. You don't see all the problems. And I've heard this, and I've seen this firsthand with other people, with people in my family and things like that. And it's like, it seems like so hard. At first, it was all good, and I understand, even talking to my brother, you have these ambitions for yourself, Soon as a baby come, them damn ambitions is gone. Because baby need to eat. You need to do this and you need to do that. And growing up as a young adult, being an aunt as a young adult, and my brother being, I'm just going to put his little business out here for a minute, a teenage single father at the time, I'm glad I had got the opportunity to help him at least halfway. I got a little bro. you go outside, because I still wanted him to be a kid too. You know what I'm saying? But when I got tired of burping and you know, when a baby is sick, they don't want nobody but their daddy or their parent, you know. And I'd be like, I used to page him and be like, hey, we had a code that it was about the baby. You need to bring your ass home. She's not responding to me, you know. She's not responding to her granny or her pawpaw. She only wants you. So you need to bring your ass off the block and come tend to this baby. And he would, with no problem. No problem.
Okay, I got you.
You know, so anything that he wanted, like for like Father's Day, you know, I would give it to him. I would break my little bank and I would give it to him, because he was a great father, and I just felt bad that you know, he was very responsible, you know, after she came and whatever, because he had to. There was no ifs, ands, or buts, because her mother wasn't there. But like I said, I wanted him to be a kid also. But then, because of doings and stuff, you know, he didn't get a chance to be a kid, because we had to shuffle him off, and you know, that's another story. So you know, then the block gets hot, you know, and the rich, you know what I'm saying, and you know, you know,
so
you know, life start life, and yeah.
All right, well, okay, well, on the next question is how long was your longest relationship? I know you go long, you go deep, don't you? Sometimes.
I got my longest relationship was I'll say about 13, 14 years, if you count high school.
Yeah, hold on.
You know, but if
that's
you
probably
don't,
longer than all my relationships put together. That's wow. That's a lot. And you about to tell me, but how did y'all meet? Y'all met in high school.
we met in high school. He was already, well, if you ask him, this is the story he told me.
He told you.
I was playing football. I was playing. Yeah, he told me the story. He was he saw me at my locker with my cleats over my shoulder. Right.
This girl different.
Walking through the hallway, walking through the Circle K, going to practice, softball practice, right? And I guess he was standing up there with Willie Cox and all of them, you know, folks or whatever. And he said, "Who is that?" And then they said, "Oh, that's Shalina. Oh, she played softball. She raw too." She ain't raw. No, you should see her. She raw. So he said one day he was, we had a game. I played third base. So he was like, "They were right. You was raw." He was like, "Dang." So he said, "I used to stalk you." He said, "I used to stalk you." He said, I ain't gonna lie. I used to stalk your little games, but you was going with Shoo Shoo at the time. You remember Shoo Shoo?
Shoo Shoo grew up down that way too on the main.
Yeah. Well, his grandmama stayed in that house.
That's close enough. That's close enough. Right there with Martin and Arrow next door to that. Oh man, we going all the way back.
Yeah.
And so his big cousin Joseph lived on the main end. Okay.
Joseph, who is married to my cousin, who is married to my cousin,
Monica.
Bruce's sister,
That's right.
Monica. Yeah.
Richmond was a beautiful place to grow up in.
Richmond's small.
We were all family. Mr. Manasseh, that's why we call each other cousins. Okay, now, just want to clear that up real fast. So we all know each other. We all grew up together.
Prime example. Yes, prime example.
All right, so y'all met, and I just want to clear this up for the brothers, if you don't mind, you know. And if I say too much, just let me know. But she was standing in her locker. She had her cleats over her shoulder, and he looked a little lower, and he saw all of that athletic build. It was like, who is that?
Stupid.
He didn't tell you that part?
Basically, that's what
I can translate.
I tried to clean it up.
She ran track. She's an athlete. Put it together, brothers. Y'all know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he did that. So he did that for a year. So I was a sophomore then, though. I was a sophomore. So in my junior year, he had graduated already or whatever, and he was visiting. You know how y'all used to do visit, Kennedy after you graduated. Thought that was weird. So he had actually passed his number to Marlon Martin, which is his best friend at the time. Shout out
Marlon Martin. Yeah.
And
Little Marlon.
gave me. Yeah. So he gave him my phone number. Donald gave him. His name is Donald, y'all. Donald gave him Marlon Martin my phone number, and that's how I called him or whatever. So that's how that was. That's how that worked out.
It was so cool back then. You could easily just get a number from somebody else and just call and just.
Yeah, somebody else. And then I waited for 2 weeks, though, and then I called him. And then I said, hi, my name is Shalina. I'm calling. He said, I know who you are. Well, damn. Okay. Hello. Hi. And that was it. And we had been rocking. After graduation and through, me going to school and stuff, we broke up. I was 35 or 36 years old. So yeah, we had been together for a very, very long time.
How old were you when you broke it? Because that was the next question. Who broke it off? But how old were you?
35
y'all were
years
together
old.
You were 35 years old. And who broke it off?
Until I was 35, yeah. I think it was mutual because some drama had transpired to where I was like, yeah, our first drama stuff. So he ended up having a baby, and on me and stuff like that. So I bounced. I don't know, see you. Okay. No bad blood. We still text each other on birthdays, bar mitzvahs, stuff like that because I grew up with him. So there's no bad blood. We check in on each other.
That's good.
Our parents, are ailing, so I check on his mom. He check on my mom. Stuff like that. So ain't no bad blood. I don't know who he with. It never goes. The line never crosses. But yeah. So we still keep in touch. And there's no bad blood. Life. You know what I'm saying? And that was a life lesson.
For sure,
so
for sure. Adults are able to get through, the past and just say, you know what?
Yes.
We may not be together as an item, but that doesn't mean that we still can't be connected. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All Kool-Aid don't have to have sugar with it. As a matter of fact, you can adjust the sugar level and just take it down a notch or two. And it still could be palatable. It still could be digestible. So that's awesome.
Exactly. Have nothing bad. Don't have anything bad to say. He's a great man. I'm sure he's a great father. He had the stuff to be a great father. He had the morals and everything. He's a good person. You never hear anything bad about him, period. Not even after the fact, or through years going on and everything. He's a cool dude. His family's, cool and everything. And, I've always wished him well, and he always wished me well, me and my family. So, yeah.
All right. So, the topic we're on today, right? His pain, her pressure, and their race, right? Can you just share real fast why you were okay with this topic? Like why you chose this topic and thought it was cool?
Because the topic is what everybody other podcasts is talking about right now. It's Venus versus Mars type of thing. You know what I'm saying? I remember growing up with that book in mind. When it was when Oprah was doing the book review and stuff like that. And now here we come, like fast forward 10, 15 years, and we still talking about the same thing. So other podcasts with this, with this man versus woman thing and what you bring to the table, the pressures of being a woman, the pressures of being a man, the pressures of, oh God. So this is you bringing this to the table again on a different perspective. So far as what I like about you would talk about something and then you would find a scripture, something to balance that out. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what we're missing in the other podcasts,
Well,
that balance, because everybody we gonna always have our ups and downs, but it seems like we're just in a constant battle. Because sometimes I be thinking that men just don't like women. Yeah, they want us, they want to be with us sexually and all this other stuff, but a lot of men do not like women. That's my opinion.
Yeah, that's that's something I can't really delve into because I can't relate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a lot of men, but I see it in the comments, and I'm like, well, why? Not to go off too much, but let's just go off for just a little bit. I wanted to ask you a question as a man. about the Cardi B thing, with her having a baby by another man when she's technically still married to Offset.
Yeah.
Offset cheated. She stayed. He played in her face. He embarrassed her all outside and stuff like that. He even had, I don't know the circumstances of it now, a questionable 5-month-old baby at the time of their, marriage or whatever. But all of a sudden, no one was on him. But all of a sudden, just because she's a woman, that now she's having a baby by another man who has probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 kids himself. But Offset had like 4 or 5 kids before Cardi's. So what's the difference? Why men mad? Why are men tripping off of her reproductive system? Long as I ain't got to pay for them, y'all do what y'all need to do. I mean, it's like the outrage with the men. Any woman who's condoning what Cardi B. What do you mean condoning? Actually, it's none of my business. But since you asked, I mean, damn, let her be.
You know what? My folks Cash.
You need to worry about your cousin having them babies.
My folks Cash. I don't know if you know her. I just call her Cash now. And the reason why I'm not saying her name is because obviously I didn't talk to her about talking about her on the pod. But I'm gonna share. She had it, and I just flipped over to her Facebook. It said. She said she was a little confused too. Why when men do it, it's cool, but Cardi B speaking her truth, and it's a problem. First of all, I almost can't relate to the point to whereas, let's just get this out in the clear. The babies is going to be all right financially, regardless.
Of course.
She doing better than all right. He doing better all right. Not to say things can't change, because we've seen a whole lot of stars fall way to the ground. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Athletes, superstars, rappers and everything else. I've seen them drugged out, mental mind gone, and everything else. But when she asked that question, I just hit it from a straight across the board concept, and I think I speak for most men when I say that no man, and I put emphasis on man because the NIWGAs could care less. It's just something to hit and quit and keep it moving.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I've been in that situation where I care less how many baby daddies she got and whatnot. I like what I see, and that's what I want tonight.
Right, and I'm gonna do that.
But no man wants no woman running around and being ran through. But consequently, most women want the dudes running up in and through most women. I hope I said that well. And what I mean by that is that a lot of women, they do want the dudes that other women want. You understand what I'm saying? As opposed to looking for somebody of substance, as you spoke about earlier, and everything else. Most of us, we don't want. I don't want everybody to know my secrets about. You know what I mean? Meaning they didn't see what I'm looking at now. You know what I'm saying? I'm out with my wife and say, remember how you gonna love this? You used to watch Def Comedy Jam, and MC Light was on there, and her boyfriend was on there, and Martin was like, and she got her boyfriend with her, and I hit it, for lack of a better term, right? And the whole crowd was going wild, and Mark doubled down. He said, "Believe me, it's a whole lot of light at the end of that tunnel." I don't want nobody to see what's at the end of my tunnel. You know what I mean? Not like that. And if so, maybe 1 or 2, but not everybody knowing about my good thing. You feel me? So that's the problem. It's almost like I was alluding to earlier when I said, yes, Richmond is being gentrified. Hispanics a lot of them are being the new NIWGAs. You know what I mean? And I took the liberty to talk to a couple of youngsters, so they was calling each other that back and forth. And I told them, man, you don't want to be that if you get pulled over at 3 o'clock in the morning. Then they're going to want to speak like they, no habla English. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, be careful of the shoes that you're trying to fill, because you might not like that fit. You understand what I'm saying? And that's just the thing about it, masculine energy and all these things. I see the conversation. You see the conversations all the time.
Yeah, I've seen the conversation all the time.
And I try not to get too much involved. It's just, knowing your role as a
Me
human
too.
and what you're supposed to do, and just roll with that. And I think if everybody put more emphasis in that, and since you mentioned about scripture, if we were doing our best to esteem one another, how much better off would we be? And esteeming meaning to lift each other up instead of tearing down. It's real easy to tear down. You watch the construction of any building, it's real easy to tear it down. It's hard to build it up, but once you build it up, it could be something beautiful. You know what I mean? So That's just my
Exactly.
take about. I love Cardi. She's very charismatic, and I actually
I love Cardi.
yeah,
I love
and,
Cardi.
and I did a
Yeah.
review on her album. I
She
gave her
crazy.
album. I think it was an 8.5 overall. You know,
Oh, I love her album. Yeah, she's and then some of the tracks she's hurt.
Absolutely.
Man, I will be hurt. Let me just tell you, when things happen with me, it really hurt because you put your trust in that person, and especially when you had no other dealings, it was blinders, like straight blinders. And then all of a sudden, bam, it's like, damn, was I doing something wrong? Was I doing this? And was I doing? And you're involved in each other's family and this and this and that and that and that and this. That shit hurt. Now we wasn't even married, so I understand her pain. And listening to Offset's new album too, that I didn't know that he had out, only because it wasn't commercial.
Her album is fire.
That
though.
album was good
Her
too.
album's fire.
His album is fire. Yeah, and he's talking about his hurt with Cardi and his hurt with Takeoff passing too.
Yeah.
So both of them has not healed at all. So you're dating the chick that you cheated with Cardi with. You know what I'm saying? And so now she just probably trying to get her get back and did not manage her reproductive system good. Therefore, she's pregnant. So she got to run with it. You know what I'm saying? We do that here at home in Richmond. We do that here at home every day. That's where you call life is lifing. Life. She took it on the chin. It was like, so damned if you do, damned if you don't. You can't go and get it eliminated because then everybody gonna look at you like that. Then now everybody talking about you because it's like one
The
of them.
unfortunate thing is
so-
she'll come to her senses, so to speak, and he might be then came on to another female and have 2 or 3 more babies by that time. So going by his track record, I'm not
So it's
judging him,
like,
but just going by his
damn.
track record.
No. Yeah, because his track record mirrors a whole bunch of partners of yours, cousins of mine, stuff. Her track record too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. It's like the audacity of them when you probably got a couple of them in your family. Do you judge them? No, you still go to the baby shower and eat that fish and that spaghetti.
I tell you what, them babies gonna have a lot of cousins. so.
Oh yeah, they are.
All right.
Stupid.
So look though, let's go ahead. Let's talk about our dilemma. I'm gonna show you this video real fast.
Yes.
And just want to get some quick, just see how you feel about it. All right. So we're gonna let's pause and then we get the video in.
Hey, how you ladies doing?
Okay, how you doing?
You good? Good? Okay. Smells like some sticky icky, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's okay. I like to party too.
Yeah.
Look, you were going like 100 miles an hour back there. I just want to make sure, is everything okay?
Oh, no, yeah, we're just on the way to deliver these perks.
Oh,
yeah,
perks. I
yeah.
love perks. Is this vodka you're drinking? Okay, no. I'm in recovery, You can drink away though. But look, I think you sideswiped some people over there. You might have hit a little kid even, yeah.
Oh, we're only drunk driving right now.
Oh yeah, it's fun, it's cool. Yeah, I can escort you down. Okay, then we can maybe hang out or something and take you to JR Crickets or something like that. Get some lemon pepper wet. Yeah. All right, let's do it. I'll see you guys there. Roll the window down. Turn the music down. What are you boys doing here?
Just listening to gospel.
Listen, put your hands on the dash right now. Listening to what?
Gospel?
Gospel?
Yeah.
Well, if you move, I want to make sure that you meet God, all right? Get out of the car right now.
But sir, we don't have anything. We're just listening to gospel and headed to church. That's
Hey,
it.
the church? More like church of drugs, of guns, of thugs.
My parents are pastors.
Parents are pastors. Pastors are pushing P, maybe, okay? Look, I'm going to call for backup right now.
Backup for
Yeah,
what?
1026 is Officer Berger. I have 2 very aggressive African-American males here. Yeah, shut your mouth, boy. Yeah, I need the whole precinct. Send everyone. Shut the hell. Yes, everyone. Everyone!
Okay, she. The man told him that you're passing drugs. It's certain places. It's stuff that I saw in this video that I don't even remember from the first time. And the officer was basically ready to. He was basically ready to take both of them out on a date or whatnot. Both them girls.
I know he was ready to end it all. He was gonna turn in his shield.
Man, look, the double standard is real. I just want to know what were your thoughts about that?
Even though it's very exaggerated, but it's not too far fetched, kind of, sort of. Because I've been in situations myself where I've been pulled over, and I gotta see who's getting out the car. So I play off of who's getting out the car. If it's a man, yeah, I'm trying to hurry up and get my purse real quick and try to put on some lip gloss, lipstick, whatever, right? So I can, yeah, I'm gonna tell the truth, same devil, right? So, they walk up and, hi, officer. Yep, I knew I was speeding. Yep, I tell the truth. Yep, I was speeding. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll spray some perfume. Oh, it smells good in here. What? Yeah, my dad, he sell oils. Yeah, here's a card.
Networking.
Been there, done that.
Earth on them, okay.
Yeah, networking at the same time. Exactly. And then I always throw, what? I always wanted to be a cop. Yeah, but I'm from Richmond, so I don't want to. You really want to be a cop? Yep. Well, now I do financial crimes. Now, what? 10, 15 minutes. Next thing you know, okay, you be careful. You. Boom, 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 boom.
Riding down the street, bumping your beat. Yeah, I hear.
Exactly. Now here, a woman, I play to her feelings. Girl, yes, I am so sorry. Yep, I'm trying to go see my mom real quick. I play off of her stuff too. Yeah, I'll be like, girl, what lipstick you got on? Girl, you be careful, because they be trying to rough us up. You know what I'm saying? They don't like the authority. I play on that.
What was the worst?
Sometimes, sometimes.
No, I was just gonna ask you, what was the worst?
What'd you say?
The worst thing that happened when you got pulled over? Like, take it to the side. Was there any exaggerated drama or anything like that?
Yeah, I got my car towed. Dude wasn't having it. He was like, "You cute and all." Yeah, he said, "You cute and all, but your car gotta go."
He probably don't like women, huh? No, I'm just.
I don't know. Probably so. He was like, you cute and all, with groceries and everything. My little Prelude, he put that thing on the tow truck. I was on the side of the road with my groceries. I tried to play it down. I was with Donald at that time, and I called his sister. I was like, so his sister came and tried to talk it down. And even Sharon came. She was Sharon at that. Shout out to Sharon.
Shout out Sharon. Yeah.
They tried to talk. Tried to get my car to have somebody with license to drive it off, for me. He was like, nah, because I've been seeing this little brown Prelude driving around Vallejo. No, nah. She got to go.
Yeah, Preludes was tight. Look, the Prelude was the actual prelude to the Accurate Legend. That's what they made it off of.
Yes, wow. It was. And I had the one with the lights up. So what had happened was I got my groceries and I was going out of Rayleigh's in Vallejo.
Oh, yeah.
And he said my tires touched the road. Then I flipped my lights up. So when I flipped my lights up, he was already across the street and it startled him.
You turn your lights on soon enough, and then you turn your lights on and you startle him.
Yeah, when I was already in motion. So that was his excuse for pulling me over. Then my tax was bad. Didn't have no didn't have any driver's license. So I hadn't had driver's license since Pac died, literally. Because it was suspended for failure to peer, them FTPs and them.
But hold up.
So they got me.
I was in a similar situation, and shout out to my boy Corey. He was with me too, and he mentioned that he always he just speaking cold on the FB though, and he talking about that issue. So I ain't gonna say his last name, but man, one night I was going to re-up. And if you know, you know. And it was in North. We was in North. They had the Thanksgiving, and had so many angots. I rented a thing ride, go out to North to get a couple of zips. Had the heat with me. And coming out, got pulled over by the sheriffs because RPD didn't mess around out there. This was in like 94, 95, and we got pulled over, and I set the thing between his seat and the console, and the two zips was zipped up, and and zipped up literally, and we got pulled over, and I had so many angots, ain't got no license. Ain't got no registration. The tags was expired on the vehicle. I didn't know to check the vehicle.
Ain't got no insurance.
He ain't had no insurance on there. Ain't got no insurance on there. And ain't got no permit for the pistol. And everything else. Man, they pulled us over. And what you doing out here? It's nighttime. Friday night in North. And I said, man, I just came from my auntie house to get me some sweet potato pie. I just had to go over there and eat some sweet potato pie. and they bought it. The sheriffs, it was brothers, a brother and a wife. They didn't
See?
trip. They lightweight searched, but not hard enough. Man, if I tell you my heart, they hadn't dropped, and they let us go. They let us go.
I think when you're respectable, sometimes you answering their questions. You know what I'm saying?
E40 said it best.
And you're cool, calm, and collective.
And I was shivering my timbers. I ain't gonna even lie. But E40 said it best though. You know that I know the popos with love for. N-word to even attempt to act black. That's why you got to outsmart the popos. And I give glory to God. They was outsmarted that night because I was dirtier than dirtier than a white wall with some tar thrown up on it. You know what I mean? It was just, man, that was a bad night, slipping like a bad transmission. But made it out of there and and got my hustle on. But consequently, here go the flip side of it though. Just like these two brothers here, I wasn't really doing nothing that night, or I wasn't dirty where I could be caught. And I got pulled over. Yeah. I did have an open container in my vehicle, and he said that my music was loud. And it really wasn't that loud. I didn't even realize then. St. Alex is the same one that did that music. I talked about him earlier. He had done that music, and I had slap in my Delta back then. 412s hitting hard. And I had to beat down Lodo.
Nasty.
And he pulled me over, and I took the ticket because I knew I had an open container. It could be a whole lot worse. Man, I made the run I was on. I went back to the area, and him and two other officers was in 3 different vehicles sitting side by side in the Nation's parking lot. Remember Nation's over there on 23rd Street? And I went over there, and I got out my vehicle. I parked my car, got out my vehicle, because I ain't, and I went over to talk to him. I said, man, you gave me this ticket. You said my music was loud, my music wasn't loud, and everything else. And I'm going to tell you what happened. The other 2 officers that was there in their vehicles, both put their cars in drive and drove away. And then he stepped out the vehicle as if he was ready to chunk them. And I just bagged up like an 8-leg crawdad and was like, you know what? Have a blessed night. Because there ain't no telling what's going to happen now. You know what I mean? I ain't got my thing on me. He got his on him. And, they could say, well, this guy pulled up and, and he did whatever. And we were witnesses. Because they, So, yeah. I went to court I told the court to fight the ticket because I still didn't believe I was supposed to get it. And I told the judge, and there was about 15 people in that courtroom, and I promise you could hear a pin drop. I told the story, and it was just like, okay, so how are you going to pay for your ticket? And I'm just like, didn't y'all not just hear what I just said? And no, they didn't. You know what I mean? This was in the 90s, and that officer, I don't think he's on the force no more. He probably retired by now, but yeah, crazy. We ain't going to talk about your cousin now. We in Oakland with your cousin.
Oh,
he got pulled over.
Don't even.
You talking about cruising for a bruise, and this man had him. The same officers pulled us over 3 different times. First time for me not having no lights. The second time for him talking bad out the window when we pulled off. The third time for throwing a ticket out the window and talking bad to them again. I'm surprised they didn't beat both of us up and take us to jail.
That is crazy. I know. The body cell, y'all. Look, God, three times, same people.
Right there by the McDonald's by Eastmont Mall. We got stopped there and then started up and hit the right there, stopped again, and then before we got to Bancroft, they pulled us over again for him throwing the ticket out the window. Oh, my goodness.
God.
Your cousin. So, we came off the porch together. We jumped in the game together, man, and I pray for my God all the time. I haven't talked to him since he been gone, but, it's just...
Yeah, I haven't talked to him either. Little stuff here and there. He called when he heard my mama was sick. So my mom is his favorite aunt. You know how that go. He was like, she was like my mom. I said, yeah, she's okay. So, thank you. Because I got a text from a weird number. And I looked, I said, oh, this is a burner phone. And so the way the text read, I knew that person was talking to about my mom. And I'm like, this is Bruce. Okay. And I let her know. And I said, so I responded back, like, she's okay. And that was it. So, them burner phones, you get one, you use it, and then you get another one the next month. So he might call or he might, text for Christmas. So
Wait, does he celebrate? Because I thought he was raised Jehovah, no?
No, he don't celebrate, but he knows
Okay,
that we
okay,
do, you
right.
know, so he calls, birthdays and stuff. He knows everybody's, of course, birthdays and stuff. So he'll tap in Thanksgiving and stuff.
Told
like
you I
that.
was my guy. We I know
Stuff,
each other
yeah,
well. We
so.
know each other well. You know what I mean? So
Yep,
let's
yeah.
I know you had a question for me though, and I actually just saved it for when we were on the pod. So what question was that you wanted to ask me?
Man, it's like so many. Cause let me tell y'all about Ron. Ron, it was
Huh?
so quiet to me. No, I was until I'm saying. Let me tell y'all about Ron. Ron to me was so quiet. In a group, he wouldn't say anything. He was very, to me, Ron, you were very, very observant.
This is true.
Person.
You observe that.
You never said too much, but you were in some stuff. I was like, Ron that don't be saying nothing? Yeah, Ron. Really? I was like that, like, nah. So, being a person that's very, very observant, did you think that actually saved you from getting in trouble like the others?
Well, here's something you probably don't know. I've actually
Like
had my troubles. To be honest with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
See, that's...
that night
okay.
when I told you about North, I had already been convicted. I had, and I'm not going to mention their names, but you going to put the two and two together. But that was my second time that I could think of that I got pulled over and had a pistol. And the first time, there were three guys over 18 with me. There were two guys over 18. The third one was 11 years old. And the other two guys didn't claim theirs, and it was my vehicle, so they were all mine automatically. And I took that case.
So back then was gun charges?
Now,
Gun charges back then was really,
first
really
time around,
severe?
misdemeanor. I found that out. It was a misdemeanor.
Oh,
But I didn't know that, and I didn't snitch. I took the case, and consequently, both those guys that were with me are doing life. Has nothing to do with me. They both doing life in prison to this day. So think back of some of my homeboys and whatnot, and you could probably put them all together. Some of the people that was around in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? So I've had my time though. I had to do some time for that, even though it was a misdemeanor because I ran and I got caught. I had C. Clockett and DeLeon in the car with me, and I went in for a warrant. So I got a tour of all the counties and everything. Never been across the water to San Quentin, praise God, and never wanted to go. But I've had other stints as well, But I've been free since May 24th of 1999, and have not been in any trouble since then. So to answer your question, I learned early that what my grandfather used to say was the truth. He said, "It ain't what you do; it's the company you keep." And just like Cole was with me that night, he could have easily called a case because he was with me. You understand what I'm saying? So I just learned to do stuff by myself. You know what I mean? I'd rather just do stuff for myself. So that way can't nobody tell on me if I done something, got away with it or whatnot, and everything else. If I'm on the block with a whole bunch of dudes and dope go flying like confetti, I ain't got to take nobody else's case. You know what I mean? So with the exception of having someone who told on me, I think it was much better. I know that it was much better that way. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Okay.
So I wasn't
So do you think you wasn't in no trouble? You had your trouble early on, and in my opinion, I think that God was, of course, saving you for what I wouldn't say your breakthrough, but being that you are more spiritual, you go to church. Come on, we wasn't going to no church, when we were younger. Being as knowledgeable. Are you ordained?
Not officially ordained, no. And you talk about the priest, right?
Okay.
Yeah, ordained as a deacon in 2017, and then on July 16th, 2020, accepted my call to preach, and that was during COVID. and at my home church, and so it never got to the point where I was ordained, and then I actually moved church, and since then moved church again because just relocation. And so haven't officially been ordained, but just been called out to share the word as I've done on Facebook throughout the years and up until now. And I just want to just touch on that part when you're saying about the observing and everything. Here's something I realized about myself is that, first of all, I love people. You know what I mean? I just love people. And it's been a blessing and a curse for me. It's been a blessing because it's kept me out of trouble to the point to where some of the addicts I used to serve are now friends of mine. And I've never, mistreated them and nothing like that. I always made sure I had good product and everything, so they consequently loved me. And if they didn't have it to spend, I had it to give, and I would bless them. You know what I'm saying? And also because I'm an observant person, I've always been the quiet one, the cool one. I was cool with everybody that we graduated with. I had no beef with none of them. You know what I'm saying? So consequently, our alumni. So it was the same in the streets, that every neighborhood in Richmond, I knew a shot caller from every neighborhood, and have actually made out a couple of calls when I knew something was going on, maybe with a friend or a cousin or a friend's son was into it with somebody from this neighborhood. Let me hit, and I'm just going to say Maine because we all know a Maine. You know what I mean? Let me hit Maine real fast and let him know that this is such and such, and they know each other, and let's see if we can get this squashed. And, and this is this behind the scenes stuff that I've done. You know what I'm saying? And being able to reach out. And people don't realize, oftentimes, all it takes is a conversation. And when you're dealing with a real one, it's going to get the situation fixed. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We got a mutual partner. I think you knew. Okay, I'm going to delete the name out the thing. But here's the thing. Had I known what I know now, back then when it was jumping off, I knew a mutual person that, first of all, if the person who downed him didn't listen to me, he would have listened to this other person. I know, but behind a shadow of a doubt, he would have listened to that person, and we could have got that squash. You know what I mean? I hate my partner got caught up in that situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So such is life. But again, I appreciate that question, and I was raised in church, but I knew what I wanted to do. Living on Cutting Boulevard, once again, the Strip in Richmond. People in Oakland, y'all had Foothill. San Francisco, y'all had 3rd Street. You know what I mean, or wherever. Houston has I can't think of it. Cullen Boulevard, I think it is, over there in the South Acres or whatnot. Over that way, LA got Crenshaw. New York, y'all know what y'all got out there. Richmond, California had Cutting Boulevard. That was the Strip, and I could sit there on every Friday and Saturday night. I knew every clean car that went by, who that person was, what neighborhood they was from, and everything else. And I knew when I grew up that I wanted to be like them. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what happened.
Well, I think that that you were saved, for a reason. That's just my, personal opinion. And I respect what you're doing and how you played your life out. You know what I mean? So, yeah. That's my, thanks to you.
It just wasn't me. I'll be honest with you. It just wasn't me. But, after being out there for so long, we think we know what we want growing up. And then we get there,
Well, we don't.
I thought I wanted to wash dishes every night. Then once that was my chore, I don't want to wash dishes. You know what I mean?
I want to wash dishes. It's a sign to me now. Oh, hell no.
But let's keep it real though. I had so much fun and lived a good life in it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I didn't want to live a good life out of it though, in the pen though, nothing like that. So I was like, man. Because good things like that, or things like that, definitely comes to an end, and we've seen all that in real time with the the people that you grew up with wanting to have a car like them, stuff like that, and in jail for life or not here at all, so you know how that plays out. Some of them got, I would say, blessed, and you got your Jay Jonah, and for life supposedly, and now he out living his second chance, boy. He living it, and he's doing very well. Shout out to Jay Jonah. Doing great work, Jay Jonah. I need you on the podcast I need you on DJ.
Oh, who?
The DJ
He would be
the Flow
great
Improved.
on the podcast.
We got to do some good music together, or we can come to this side too. Definitely, because he been doing his Hey Young World thing, and he reaching back. Letting them know 17. I think they gave him 17. He ended up doing 23. You know what I mean? But man, the growth that he's shown and how way he's been contributing to the community has just been it's been masterful to say the least. You know what I mean? So proud of him, proud of his growth. So look, talking about D-Boys, and of course, I know you were affiliated with J. Joe and everything. Did you ever get caught up or tied down with any of the D-Boys? You know, because at once upon a time, we was in style. That's what everybody was looking for. You know what I mean? So
no, because one thing about Yvonne and Charles Smith, they wasn't playing that bullshit, not at all, not with me.
Okay. So that was a parenting thing.
They was not playing.
What were you talking about relationships then? Like, what were you taught to look for in a man? Because it seemed like that's where you're going with it.
I was taught to have substance, family, something that a boy, to have a boyfriend that's not doing the same things that everybody else was doing. You see what I'm saying? Growing up, Donald had his family had a little change.
They had what was the phrase? They had.
He had a little change, so they had a little money. They had a little change. So
he didn't have to go. He didn't have to play in the streets. That's what you're saying. Okay, I got you.
He didn't have to play those reindeer games. So he already had a 5.0 Mustang on rims.
He did. No, he
stick
did.
shift. Remember that? Yeah. Before that black one, he had a red one. I called it a General Lee because it was that orangey color.
Yeah,
Mustang. That guy, he slapped that. His sister had a brand new Honda Civic. You know what I mean? So
hold on, let me pause you for just a moment because that's amazing. Because let's say he didn't pick you up from school, and you already mentioned earlier you live on South 19th Street. Kennedy High School was on South 43rd Street, for lack of a better term. So if you walked home from school, you walked through 6 or 7 dope spots. You got Kennedy Manor.
Oh yeah.
You got the 40 block. You got the one way. You got Easter Hill, the back streets. 15th is in that area. It stretched to 23rd. But you know what I'm talking about. So how? And none of these guys was able to get in with you.
No, they knew who I was. They knew who my family was. They knew who my cousin was.
Yeah.
I was considered the good girl. Do not touch. She played baseball. She run track. She get good grades. Leave her alone. And even if you did, she ain't fucking with you.
No.
Because I'd be looking like, nigga, what that? No. No, not at all. Oh. And then even if, if somebody would ask about me, like to, my brother or to, they get checked real quick. What? What the hell? You can try. You might get cussed out. And my brother will laugh or whatever. But they just knew. Okay. They just knew not to. Now, it wasn't like I was all bad. I was bad and nothing like that. It was just like one of those things. I was not interested. First of all, you are creepy because you're in your 20s and you're looking at a 16, 17-year-old. I already had that in my mind because my parents, put that in my head. Anybody you're creepy, you better be glad we allowing you to date Donald because he's already had graduated from high school. You know what I'm saying? But it was when we had a foyer like this in our house on 19th Street. You walk up the real steep stairs. You go through the door, and there was this patio area. He stayed in that patio area courting me for at least 2 years. I don't know what else he was doing with somebody else. He probably was getting some little snacks somewhere else. But here on 19th Street, nah, he stayed in that until my parents was like, okay. Then he graduated to the living room. It was none of that. It wasn't none of that. At all.
Shout out to having some good parents around too that can kind of guide you.
So it was
guide
like
the ship a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's needed.
Yeah.
But that's the problem when you have baby mamas and baby daddies and they didn't fill each other out and then they didn't make a good match and then both are gone. Right. You know what I mean? So if that notion is true, then you understand the phrase when I say that we were divided to be torn apart, like it's intentional, right?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
it's
very
unfortunate
intentional.
that we buy into that, and we participate in our own destruction,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
so with that being said, I know you had another question. Go ahead. I'll say mine. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll say.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So,
Go ahead.
with that being said, what's been your biggest obstacle in your life?
My biggest obstacle, I don't know if I had any really, really big obstacles. Probably just, I don't really have, I've never been in any drama.
Okay.
I never into like, oh, my biggest obstacle was raising my kid. No, it was never that. I've been very blessed.
Right.
I've been, very blessed, lucky to get out of, Richmond. I never been on drugs. I never
Crazy.
smoked. I drink wine, but I ain't never been, you know how you see those memes and it talks about, I've seen it recently, about Richmond. I think it was like straight out of Richmond, page where it said, what we was doing at Kennedy Park, and a lot of people was like, "Oh, we was drinking Night
Getting
Train
our
and
perk
Kool-Aid and da 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 da." Yeah, getting our perk.
Bacardi
I never
151.
did. Yeah, I never did. I never did that.
Okay.
I knew
'Cause
what
you
it was
was an
about.
athlete. No,
I
of
never
course
did.
not.
Yeah, I was an athlete. I couldn't do certain things, but I remember I did cut school. Everybody cut school, but it was like I never smoked weed. I just never.
good.
That did not.
That's good.
Never. That didn't attract. That wasn't attractive to me.
That shows
when I
leadership
see-
quality in you. Let me tell you, a couple of your
Yeah, I
your
do.
homegirls was getting bags from me. Let me tell you that first of all. So I ain't gonna mention no names, but just think of some of the people that we grew up with that graduated. They was getting them. They was blowing. They was
They
blowing
was getting them
J's.
bags,
Man, and yeah, had
Now,
these zigzags ready.
now when I graduated from high school and started going to college and stuff, so I was thinking, okay, this is where I'm gonna get my experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on my own per se. Hayward State University, now Cal State East Bay, is not far, a BART train away.
Shout
So,
out to Cal
and
State
then we
Hayward, now
decided-
known as Cal State East
Yep.
Bay. Okay.
Yep,
So
yep.
allow me to
So-
pause you real quick. Let's talk about that then. How about let me rephrase the question. What's your greatest opportunity or your biggest dilemma as a woman, as a beautiful black woman or a professional black woman? What would you say that is? Your biggest opportunity or your biggest dilemma?
Biggest dilemma, colorism.
Okay. Now see,
Color.
yeah, there we go. Okay.
Colorism. Colorism.
Go ahead and elaborate a little bit.
Colorism, going to school with fraternities and sororities. You got the Delta Sigma Theta, who is primarily back then brown, dark-skinned girls. Then you had your AKAs, who was considered light-skinned. Their colors was pink and green. Then you had the Zeta, and they called them the Zeta Bears because they were considered not that good looking, but they were brown skinned sisters, dark skinned sisters. It's like colorism. Even it's just like on Different World, you have your student union where you go and all the black kids, they go and eat lunch and have conversations, and it was just like that. But you had the light-skinned chicks all on one end of the table, and then here you had the dark-skinned chicks, and then you have the mixture of the freshmen. You can tell who were freshmen. I was a freshman at one time, looking, unsure, not confident. You're in school with grown people. You're 18, 19 years old, and you're in school with 25, 26, 30-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Career seniors, seniors that's been there, they damn near 35 because they done got to keep taking the same class because they keep on flunking it. That type of thing.
Yeah.
Getting treated differently because you're brown or dark skin back in the 90s, 95, 96. That was really, really, really prominent in school and college culture. I'm sure it was like that. I'm sure it was like that at the HSBCU's colleges, the black colleges.
Yeah, I didn't know that was real. I've heard of the movie. I think what was it? There was a Spike Lee did a movie that kind of talked about.
Yeah. It was.
I never saw it.
Yep. It was right on.
What was it?
It was right on. And we oh my God, School Days.
School Days.
School Days.
So never saw it.
And yeah, School Days. Right. Even before we were thought about going to college, I saw that and I was like, oh. And then when I actually went, I'm like, this is just an updated ass School Day. So that's how. And then we want to fast forward into when you get older and you're trying to get placement with jobs. And so I went to school for radio broadcasting, the TV broadcasting. Colorism, boy. Colorism.
Even in the workplace. Even in the workplace. That's crazy.
Even in the workplace, and doing internships at our local radio stations, KMEL and Wild 94.9 back in the 90s.
You worked at KMEL, the KMEL radio station?
The KMEL radio station when Chewy Gomez was prominent there, and Mind, Emotion.
Oh, that's high fashion right there. Hold up, girl. You up in the tree religion.
So I was
against James realm. That's some real stuff right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was colorism there. It was a favoritism, popularity. So when you're coming from college and they say you can do this per college standard,
supposed to be easy for you.
She went to school. Yeah, she went to school for it. Versus a lot of those people that's still there did not go to college. Chewy Gomez said he didn't go to no college. You know how he got his start?
He knew somebody.
He hung around the fucking station after I don't even think he graduated high school. He hung around the station. And when he became of age, he used to he was a gopher for them. Go get me coffee. Go get me a hamburger. Go get me that.
Okay, he worked his way up there.
And
okay,
then
that's respectable though.
He worked it. Yeah, that's respectable. Because he was like, I don't know if what they taught you in school. He said, erase all of that. What they taught you in school, erase all that shit. This is how I'm gonna teach you how to do this and do that, and this is how you pronounce stuff. This is how you read a commercial. This is how, stuff like that. So I was taught how to do it. So the book smart stuff and the real on hand stuff did not correlate. So it was like, well, shit, I went to school for nothing. Shit, if I could have hung out.
Not necessarily.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I was thinking that then because I was like, well, damn.
That key still can get you in the dough. It can get you in the dough.
Of course.
Then you apply your street smart.
Apply your stuff.
To advance.
Exactly.
So yeah, I don't think that's. Yeah. I wish if I had a chance to do it again. That's why I was sitting here in admiration. I would have took school more seriously, as opposed to even to the streets. Like I said, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Did a lot, but there's a retirement plan attached to it. Most of your co-workers, the people that you know, they're going to die. They're going to go to jail. They're going to get strung out on drugs or just mentally lose it. And I'm talking about some real quote-unquote players, some real ones. When I saw a real player from the Himalayas, if that's what you want to say, back then, no, really, he just got sentenced to like a triple life sentence for raping a girl that he was picked up from the BART station in Richmond or something like that. And it's like, him? And me and my folks was like, wow, And then just recently saw another one. I might send you a picture after this. You're going to trip out. But, and I got the picture. I thought it was somebody in a costume that looked like Martin Lawrence on Blue Streak. Remember he put that costume on and go to the police station with the teeth all over the place and everything?
With the pizza. Yeah.
Well, you got a classmate that looked just like that now. And I had to show it to one of his best buddies and say, yep, that's him. What happened? Well,
you're going to have to send me.
He'd been on drugs. Yeah. And he said he'd been on drugs, one. And then two, that fentanyl, and then he had a stroke. And I don't know if you'll be able to see while we on here. Let's see, you got an iPhone, so yeah. And I was floored. I was like, wow. I was like, I mean, I just really, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. So
we are blessed.
Had I had a chance to do it again, I certainly would have stayed in school. But the thing was, I would hit Laney in the morning, take my classes and stuff, and I'm there by myself, and it's an oasis. You know, they put the word H in front of it. You know, the brothers put the word H in front of it. You know what I'm talking about? An oasis. And fine women everywhere. Oakland got some of the finest women in the nation, if not the world, anyway. And
yeah, they do. They got some pretty girls. They do. They surely do.
And we would, I would walk through, and I would walk through there and just be like, wow. And I had to have the thing with me. You know what I mean? Because Oakland brothers in always. And it was hot at that time because some Richmond brothers had shot up a crap game or something like that, killed a couple of dudes. You know what I'm saying? And then I come home and hit the block. By this time, everybody outside, and they was doing their own thing. So I can't find the picture, but I will send it to you. We won't. It's gonna trip you out. I'm telling you when I tell you who it is, though. But you know, and so a part of that attributed to me just going back to the block. You know what I'm saying? And just getting my money like that because it was right then and there, as opposed to keeping a vision of what could be. You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah,
so
because when I was going, because school was for me was a way out.
Yeah.
Even though it was in Hayward,
Yeah.
and it was a drive away, you know, but it was an oasis.
Of men, okay.
You know, men. Grown men at that. Grown men at that. Grown women. You know, you have to. It taught you how to be an adult because you have to go and talk to the professors. Yeah. They had scheduled dates, so you have to advocate for yourself if you didn't get a good grade. So it taught you how mama and daddy ain't gonna be there. Yeah. Because usually, you know, your mama come to the school, you know, no, it's up to you now around these grown people. And it, like I said, it was a whole oasis of male and female, and it was different. So after class, after spending a whole day at class, interacting with like-minded people, right?
That's what you need.
Because it ain't just Richmond and Oakland there. You got people from Fresno. You got foreign exchange students from France and you know, and to go back home to Richmond, totally different. So the next day, it was like, damn, when class start again? Oh shoot, I have a day off. Yeah. I'm like, damn, now I gotta be in Richmond. So what's happening in Richmond? It's the same old thing. My brother doing this, my cousin doing that. It's the same. And it's like, oh my God, I can't wait to my 10 o'clock class Thursday, and it's only Monday.
Yeah, and see,
you know what I'm saying? Because it was night and day.
Yeah.
School was night and day.
And what we talk about, ladies and gentlemen, and particularly younger men and women, the pressures of it all. Even when you're going through school, yes, you're going to have pressures because you're going to want to have fun and everything else. Is it worth it, though? Absolutely, yes. You know what I mean? And what you just said, though, is that I think, like you said, I'm an observant person, right? And I'm always quiet, you know what I mean? But when I have my connections, you know, the people that I know, my clique here, my clique there and everything, because, again, in high school, we talk about the Asian nerds to the preps, to the athletes, to the D-boys, to the real gangsters. You know what I'm saying? I was cool with all of them. You feel me? So had I had those connections, it may have helped me to stay in school. So definitely, you know, it's always good to make your friends, get your little circles and everything. And hopefully somebody that'll keep you accountable to make sure that you make it to your classes on time. And let's get this lesson done. And then when you're in that class, you know, get your friend or two in those classes. You know, it helped that I had when I finally did go back to school, I had a couple fine little friends to work with. You know what I mean? Statistics was difficult. You know, she was studying to be a nurse, and I'm getting my business degree. Yeah, you feel me? And we had the right teacher and was able to work together. You know, and of course people think that we was an item and everything, which we could have been, but we were not. That's a whole nother pod. But all I'm saying is that it's painful pressure. But you know, when two can do it together, though, it makes it a whole lot easier, a whole lot better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I'm glad. Yeah, and I'm glad I had my friends. I had Carmel, I had Miriam. Yeah. I had Janae from Richmond High School. We all lived together,
Yeah.
so it was like-minded people.
That's what I'm saying.
Carmel from North.
Yeah.
I'm from the South. Miriam from the South Side.
Yeah.
Janae, she was
Whole
from
Richmond coming together.
Central, I
Yeah.
think. Your whole Richmond coming together. Women that wanted to do more. That wanted to. We from the belly of Richmond,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we all four young ladies, we wanted better. Tiffany, she was going to Chabot. So we were all together, and like I said, like-minded. We all wanted the same thing, we all wanted the same goal. So
Yeah.
I can say right now, today, at being almost 53 years old, all four ladies are doing great.
That's what's
So
up.
yeah.
Yeah, Carmel actually, she, with the passing of, you mentioned Manny earlier, with the passing of her husband. She's actually living with her twin in Dallas, Texas, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere close to Dallas now.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
yeah. So that
Yeah.
is good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Matter of fact, did you have anything else that you wanted to ask me, or
Not yet.
not yet? Okay, you
Not
trying
yet.
to go all? Because I
Not
know
yet.
you got another podcast coming up today too. Shout out to the With That Being Said podcast. So,
Yeah. I think I had like one in the chamber. I might want to save it for next time because it goes off into another realm. But
Okay, so
I
we
wanna stay
definitely
on
thinking about
topic,
getting
so.
together to do another pod together.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. Yeah, let's
listen,
do it.
you're blessing me now. Just like I said, to have you here, knowing that you're gonna get with Chuck Lounge and With That Being Said podcast. So I appreciate it very much. But I just wanted to just end it on this note, though. I noticed that you've been putting greater emphasis on working out. Would you care to talk about that?
Yeah, so, man, how could I start this? So, like I said before, my mother is I think I just said it on camera or maybe off camera. My mother is an amputee now.
Yeah.
She went through something called PAD, peripheral artery disease. That's when your arteries in your legs stop pushing blood through them. Therefore, so sometimes you sit wrong and you get that tingling in your foot.
Yeah, it hurts a little bit.
When that tingling in there. Yeah. So, my mother stated that she was getting that too often, not laying like Indian style, like maybe you get that, but just by looking at TV and tingling. So we brushed it off, whatever.
Yeah.
One day she called me and she said, "I can't walk. I can't walk."
Oh wow.
And I was like, "What you mean?" She said, "I get up and I can't walk."
Wow.
So I went down there, me and my brother, and it was true. She couldn't walk. She was actually sitting down at the door because she had to open the door for us. And I seen that some of her like 3 toes were like black. So I took her straight to the emergency room that day, and right from the start they were like, she has no pulse in her right leg. Left leg is very faint. We have to do emergency surgery in 2 days. It's a 12-hour surgery. My mother is 72. Well, she'll be 73 in February. Don't know if she would last a whole 12-hour surgery. I was like, well, what's the surgery? It's going to be, they want to do stents. They want to put some fake arteries in, take the good arteries from the good leg over to the bad leg to see if that will work. It didn't. It worked for a certain extent. They was trying to save her leg. So she ended up getting her leg amputated from the knee down. Now, since then, I have been having problems with my diabetes. Not diabetes. I don't have diabetes. I'm sorry. Blood pressure.
Yeah.
Blood pressure being so high. Dealing with, life be life and stuff like that, work, just normal stuff. I didn't think that anything was wrong, but I started getting dizzy and lightheaded and things of that nature. And so going to the doctor was like, "Hey, I know you dealing with your mom and stuff like that, but you got to work on you.
Real talk.
Your levels is high. You going to emergency. I had to end up going to emergency. My blood pressure was 185 over 114.
Woo.
Now fast. So going back, my brother had a mild heart attack. So I'm tripping off of that, stressed off of that, making sure he's okay. That's little bro.
I did not know he had no heart attack though. He looked good. I saw him at Soulful Softball. I DJ last month. He was looking good though. Okay, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah. So he had a mild heart attack. He had to get a stent in. So that was trippy for us, because he's a pillar in our family also.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So. And so me stressing off of that, and my mom, my mother-in-law, and then going, because she was sick too. So fast forward, now I'm sick. I'm like, no, I'm fine. They were like, yeah, no, my fingertips was feeling cold. I was like, the Lord, I don't want to. Now then, in between that, our classmates are dying and stuff like that. So now I'm getting scared.
Man.
So I was like, yeah, the devil is a liar. Let me find somebody, a trainer. Yeah. To get me back on track. Oh. Yeah, so it's been 6 weeks. Now my blood pressure is low now. It's up to par.
Okay. There you go.
And I go 4 days a week.
There you go.
So that's my journey, and it's going to continue because I want to be here. I want to be here.
Well, we can't. We
I don't want y'all to be on a podcast talking about me later. Just no.
Here's something that a lot of people don't realize: working out and eating healthy and everything. It does not prolong our life. Let's just make that clear.
No.
The dash is going to be wherever it's going to be. You know what I mean? And that last day.
However, when God say,
it's a wrap.
Exactly.
But the thing about it is, you can be as healthy as possible and as smooth as possible up until that time.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? So it's a lot to unpack in what you just said, and. I don't know if you know this. Did we talk about it? Frank, another one of our classmates, just recently passed away, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So I don't know the details of his passing. Matter of fact, his widow just sent me a message, and I was told I would post it today. So after we get off of here, I'll post it on Facebook. The funeral arrangement. She said she just gave it to me personally, and she just wants me to share that. And no problem. Another one of our classmates. This is like the 8th in the last 2 to 3 years that we've lost from our class alone. Then we lost the homie Dion. Did you know Dion?
Yep, I knew Dion Clark. We all went to elementary school together with Paris, with Patsy Robertson, the cousins. What's her name? Inez Adams' husband. All of them. Yeah. They all relate. All of them. Yeah. Yeah. So we all. Yeah.
So and it's just like we passed away. Dion really hit me hard. A lot of people didn't realize he's been sick in and out of the hospital. I remember one time him telling me that he had been down for a month and a half, unconscious in the hospital. And he was working from home. Then he wasn't working. His job was taken care of and everything else. So and. I'm not going to touch on what the streets say and everything else, but here's all I know is that, like you said, we want to do our best to be healthy and everything. And this is not nothing beyond. This is just in general. 52 myself, 53 years old for you. It does help. And I don't know if you know this, but I also had hypertension for a long time too. To whereas I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure at the age of 31. You know what I'm saying? So and I didn't even know it, right? And consequently, the same day I gave my life back to the Lord on March 27th of 2005, I went to the emergency room that night. And that's when I was diagnosed. And I thank God for that one nurse. I don't know if she was a traveling nurse or what. I went back to Brookside Hospital, couldn't find her, just to thank her because I went to the hospital. I lived around the corner from Kaiser, living in Central in the Barracks. Would walk to Kaiser with bloody noses and stuff like that. My auntie said, "That's might be something with your heart." They didn't find nothing wrong. You know what I mean? But this nurse, she said, she called for it because nurses really are in the hospital. A lot of people don't realize. They think doctors are the ones. No,
right?
Nurses give the doctor's orders, but that's neither here nor there. But she said, do a X-ray of his chest, and they did, and they found I had fluid in my lungs, around my heart, and everything else. And I'm thankful that I had a new PA who had just moved to the area from Connecticut, sister, and she said, I think because of your age, it can be reversed. That's all I needed was just that little bit of optimism. You get what I'm saying? So 20 years later, my heart is normal and everything else, and I know that my diet is my main thing. But I'm like you, I work out like 2 to 3 times a week, and just I fast through the daytime. I'm gonna get this weight down a little bit more. I lost like 20 pounds this year. You know what I mean? So I'd like to get another 20. 25 no later by this time next year. You know what I mean? That's an easy
Right.
goal. I'd say 25.
Yeah.
But here's why I wanted to get back to you. I commend you for taking care of your mom. You know what I mean? And if I know your brother, he's probably helping you out. And initially, when you mentioned that she was an amputee, I immediately thought diabetes. But when you said something else, it reminded me of my mother, that she may have had the diagnosis, but my mother didn't share it because she also knew that her time was limited. Based on her scouting report, her health report.
Right.
She didn't share that with me, though.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So me being the optimistic
Yeah.
person I am was doing the best I could to make sure she was in the best health. And I'm still dealing with that situation, which is going to come out a little bit later. But what I'm saying is it was just me. So since then I created a podcast and I posted on this channel. It's called Taking Care of Who? You. Because we oftentimes lose ourselves in taking care of doing what we got to do. We know it needs to be done, so we want to do it. But you're absolutely correct. Anybody that takes on this thing, shout out to the Grave Sisters. There's Akeisha Lee, there's Brother Steve Harris, who are, doing what they can for their parents. But make sure you take some time off for you to take care of yourself.
Yeah, it's been times that I've been in my car and I break down.
Yeah, it ain't easy. Yeah. And I'm connected because I understand. I know.
I'm sorry. Because it is hard. And then, I had my dad too. He had a spell. He had sarcoidosis. He was diagnosed at 91. But now it's starting to mess with him. So he turned, how old is Daddy? 74? 75, one of them. But on his birthday, June 1st, after my mama had, was getting well with her with her surgery, I get a call from that side of the family saying that my daddy done passed out and he was going in convulsions at the Denny's celebrating his birthday.
Recently?
So this past June 1st, yeah.
How's he doing now?
So, great. Good. They figured it out. Sarcoidosis starting to flare up, so they gave him some medicine. He's fine.
I was gonna say the last picture you posted, your dad looked good.
Oh yeah. It was just something that he just, sarcoidosis is starting to creep up. If you don't take care of it, it can kill you, just like it did Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac died of complications of sarcoidosis. So when sarcoidosis don't directly kill you, it's the complications of. So it can do your blood pressure. It can cause a stroke. It can cause, it's the cause.
As a collective, it's just
this is
hard
one
to
of the
deal
causes.
with.
Exactly. And my daddy, he gets up and he drinks lemon juice, a shot of lemon juice before he even eat. On an empty stomach, he takes vitamin. His doctor told me that he is the oldest, healthiest person
In the family.
that he has came across in an old man in a long time. Even with the sarcoidosis, because my dad, he believed in really taking care of himself. So he be on me and my brother. He be on. He'll call me and be like, "Okay, what's your blood pressure today?" And I'll go take my blood pressure and let him know the readings. He'll call my brother and say, "Okay, what you eating today?" So far as his diet, whatever. And so, of course, our parents don't want to bury their kids, even though that they're in their 50s. You know what I'm saying? You got to take care of you, but it's hard too, because all you want to do is just make your parents stay a little bit longer. You know what I mean? And it can be overwhelming. Like I said, sometimes I just break down and be like, "Okay, Lord, give me the strength."
And he'll do it. And I'm telling you,
saying?
I've been there and I've done it. And the reason why I was talking about cleaning up our act as far as, working out and stuff like that, my mother, I think,
Yeah.
basically, my cousin called it dying on her own sword. You know, because cigarettes was what really did it. And then, you know, then she had, and I would not
yes.
allow her to smoke. And then she had caregivers that was buying, a caregiver that was buying her cigarettes
Oh,
and stuff like
really?
that. It was just like, you know, oh my goodness. And so she just basically, but again, she knew that the end was near. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that's difficult when you see somebody who's been so strong all your life, and they at the end of their life, and not to say that they gave up. You know what I mean? They just because they know, you know, they felt it on the inside. So, man, do your best to take care of your mom and dad if necessary, and just do your best to keep their spirits up and let them know that, hey, you know, we here, you're here, and as long as we all here, we got more to live for. You know what I mean?
We all gonna do it. Oh, we sure do, because she knows how to get it out of the car, you know, in the bathroom. She just, she be, me and Tashia say, yeah, mama be slinging that little nub. She do, though. She be getting
Leave
up.
it to Tashia to say something like and that's, you need that too, though. You need that humor in that moment, though, too, though. You gotta have that.
Yeah, because mama said, my mama be like, shoo, boy, you better shut up. I sure do. I'll be slanging it, right? You know, so.
Yeah, and she keeps smiling.
you know, and then my dad, too. And she keeps smiling. My dad, too, you know, he's a deacon at his church. And he loves his suits and stuff. He'd be dressed to the nine. And
always.
And he's a great storyteller. Yeah, he's always been a great storyteller, so we want to keep that going as much as possible. And you know, so we just they're our strength, actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. Take it for one who.
That's where I pull from.
Seen both of them leave, and it's actually prepared me for the last question. But you know, treasure them while they're here. You know what I mean? Mom and dad, treasure them while they're here. Because I was sitting next to the bed when my dad had his heart attack. You know what I mean? And it was just and it was difficult. But he too knew that he was here. He knew he was at the end, and this time I was prepared. When Mom passed away, I was in the dark about what to do about everything, and and stuff started to unfold. With him, I had a better idea because I had dealt with it with my mom, so I knew where he wanted to be buried at, how to go about doing most of the stuff.
You already had the whole
and what his wishes was. You know what I'm saying? So definitely get close, stay close. Make sure y'all have an understanding. You and Shia, get it in paper. That way you ain't got to worry about the state of California doing anything to hinder anything that your mom and dad want for y'all. So here we go. Here we go. On that note, let me ask you this question. This is your question to be answered the way you want to answer. Do you think it's better to be to leave this earth satisfied as single or to be miserably married? It's kind of deep, huh, when you think about it, huh?
I don't want nobody to die miserably married. That is.
Let me tell you why I say it.
I will say single. Why you say that?
My mother was single, and I was her son's. But I thought I made up the term, then I Googled it, and it's like this is a thing. I'd never heard it before. I was her husband, though. You know what I mean? A play on the word husband,
Gotcha,
but
I know
son.
what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? And then my dad had a girlfriend who was around for the privileges, and everything else. And he was a player all his life. You know what I'm saying? And even when he's married, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so he basically passed away by himself too. So were they satisfied? I never asked him that question, but my mother was alone. She didn't have she had a dog. She had a dog. You know what I'm saying? Dog got hit by a car when she was in the hospital. Whole little story. And my dad had a dog. His dog died, and he went downhill right after the dog passed. Within a year, he was gone. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
that was his companion.
That's why, to me, it's a deep question, because a part of me, my strength say, man, I was born in this world by myself. I'm an only child. No problem. But I saw them, and I saw that. You understand what I'm saying? But I also saw some people miserably married. We got a homeboy who not too long ago passed away. And I'm only sharing this because his sister. I heard some before, but it wasn't my business. But then his sister posted it on the book on Facebook, And what I'm saying is, it's like, we had a homeboy who basically died of a heartbreak. And keep in mind, we got a lot of homeboys, so it's not no names, so you know. But I'm just saying, basically died of heartbreak.
Right.
You feel me? Like, you know, when your wife say that she don't want you, you almost feel like you know, because men, this is how most men, again, I'm talking about feel, even myself, because I found myself in some, not a trance, I find myself at a standstill, stagnant, because when I had my mother, I was driven to do so much because I couldn't let her down. You feel me? I'm still supplementing money into her household. I'm still paying, I'm buying her a car. And then she can't work no more, so I got to pay her car insurance, so when she do drive and everything else. She's gone. It's like, okay, I don't have that pressure. But then I have my son who was two.
You don't have that
you
pressure.
see what I'm saying? But he's so grown to whereas, but he's not established.
He don't need daddy like that no more.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So when it's just me, it's like I can do kind of what I want, and I'm gonna suffer the consequences. That's the pain I'm gonna have to deal with. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, when I have someone else to do it for, again, like we talked about when you was in school, when I know I got to do my part of the homework assignment, so I can't let the team down. Oh, best believe my part gonna be done if we're gonna be ready to present. You feel
it's
me?
Gonna be done.
So when I don't have that, and that's something I gotta work on, I realize that. So I'm saying all that to say, imagine my wife telling me we got children together and everything else, and she's telling me that she don't want me or had nothing to do with me. Not a baby mama, a wife. You feel me? You know, we saw Jody, we saw Yvonne tell Jody in that movie that we don't need you and all this and that and everything else. You know what I'm saying? But your wife say that, and you help and you provide, you brought this house and everything else, and the pain about it all is that she could do that and literally get the house and get all kind of stuff, but it renders him useless though.
And that's
it goes deep.
Yeah,
it's real deep. So that's the reason why I asked that question.
It gets hella deep because me being single, just because I'm with somebody, I'm still single. No children, and I tell my significant other all the time, no one comes to see.
No one comes what?
No one comes and visit the auntie at the burial ground.
No one comes and visits the auntie at the burial ground.
Yeah, no one visits the aunties, meaning the aunties with no children. If aunties got kids, of course the kids go, I have no children. So nobody is not, I don't care how much you say you love me, blah, blah, blah. After a year that I'm gone, you might do some balloons and you might talk about, you might even do some little raggedy ass, spray painted ass t-shirts. But after that, when the smoke clears, I will not be visited. No one visits the aunties.
You never know. Shy oldest daughter, she might come.
I'm just saying.
Okay. I hear you.
Yeah. Just you know what I'm saying. So it's like dying by yourself, literally, or if I'm dead, I'm dead. I'm gone. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to. Y'all split the money. You whatever. Have a party. Oh, whatever. Just don't make. I request, please, just don't make no cheesy ass T-shirts with no wings in the back of me. I don't want that. But. But really, real talk. No one comes and visits. So even because a lot of people are like, you don't have no kids, you're gonna be, if you get sick or something like that, no one's gonna take care of you. Oh, I'm Shalina gonna still take care of her, even if I don't get married. I'll pay. I have an account that pays for my living assistance or something like that. Because even when you do have children, you can't bank on your children on doing right by you.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even matter. When my mother was recovering from her surgery, she was in a convalescent home owned by Sutter.
Okay. On the hill up there.
She was in
okay.
Yeah. She was in a room with two other women. She was in the middle. The only privacy they had was the things, the curtains drawn. You could only visit one or two at a time. Me and my brother would come and stuff like that. And one person had a stroke, a third stroke, so she couldn't talk. The other person on the other side, something was mental. She was a resident. The other one, a black lady that had the stroke, she was a resident because her husband couldn't take care of her no more because he's old. So to come to see her, and me and my brother, we would entertain her when husband couldn't come. You know, on Mother's Day when husband came, he just felt he looked so ran down, and he felt so bad that he had to put his wife in there. The conditions were horrible. My mother was, they put a tag on her saying that she was a fall risk. Of course, because of her leg was amputated. But they wanted her, my mother said she had asked one of the nurses, I got to use the bathroom. You know, your morning pee. Mm-hmm. This nurse told her to pee in her diaper. We'll come clean you up later. Nah. Next thing you know, my mama calling me like, y'all gotta get me up out of here.
That ain't cool. Come do your job, little lady.
That's not cool. Fuck that. Yeah. Oh, when I called my brother, because my brother is like 2 minutes away, he walked in there. I don't know what he did. I didn't even question him. The next day, Mama got Jell-O for her whole room. And that's what I'm talking about. They need to know that they got a parent. They got somebody on the outside to care for them. So you talking about Southern Solano? I think about Southern. Exactly. You talking about Southern Solano out there? Okay. Okay. Solano, yeah. Oh my gosh. So every time he come to Smith kids, and I was like, they greet my brother. Hey, how you doing? Your mother is Your mother is so funny. Your mother is a hoot. My brother was like, I said, I'm not even gonna ask what you did or what you said. But I know you showed it. You showed your ass. Yeah, right. Whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And I just said, with that being said, to say that, I just can't. And I know some people put their parents in that certain circumstances where they just can't do it all by themselves anymore. But to die, so the other lady that had the mental problem, she is gonna die by herself. So you think that's better, or she's single gonna die or married? What would be your choice? I think, oh my God, because both of them. Because looking at the husband, he was drained too.
Miserably married, that is, not just married, but miserably married.
Yeah, miserably married. Where you just don't see. You can be You can be married single person.
You can't afford to be single. We got this house together and everything else, but I can't stand that mother.
But you just sit and I think I'd rather die single. I think I'd rather die single than to be dying miserable.
Since I put it that way, I probably would rather go that route too. Because the Bible says it's better to live on the corner of a roof than to live in a house with a rebellious woman. But that can be translated as spouse, though. A spouse. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I think on that note, I think
you just there because just there just to be there because you got that house.
Bless people to get a Frenchie.
Kids grown.
Just go that route. Yeah, just married because they got a house.
Get you a Frenchie. I got me a
got a house though. The house is paid for, but this is all we got. And I ain't finna go work. I ain't finna go greet at Walmart. I ain't driving nobody Uber just so I can pay for an apartment in the senior citizens complex. So I'm gonna stay here with this raggedy mother.
Exactly.
But Lord knows if my baby hit the lottery and buy me a house, I'm gone.
Look, kids grown, grandkids is even grown.
You know what I'm saying?
No one comes visit, and you just sitting up here with this nigga's crusty feet or this chick's bunions, and both of y'all looking at you. Yeah,
I love how you keep it real though. That's why I'm proud of the work that you've been doing and everything else. But you're gonna have to forgive me for this though. I don't know if I'm gonna fit it in later or whatever, but or earlier. But we didn't answer the question: who has it worse? So you think black men or black women have it worse?
I always say, dang.
Is your answer?
I always say black men. I always say black men. I always say black men because I have a black brother and I have a black nephew. I've seen how they have been treated. Yeah. I think black men. If you're in a relationship, they have the pressure. They have the pressure of being a provider. They have a pressure of being a father. They have the pressure of being a black man in society, in today's society. They have the pressure of driving while black, walking while black.
Fit the description.
Going to work black. You know what I'm saying? They just really have, all. Because let me just tell you this. Me and my dude was driving. Get pulled over. Tags good. Driver's license good. Why you pull us over, officer? Oh, because you don't have a front license plate.
Whatever.
Okay. Well, I'll get that. This is a newer car. You know. Sometimes when you buy it, you just get the black back plate. You just, yeah. Okay, I'll handle that. Can I see license? Boom, boom, boom. You got any warrants? Your felonies? My dude said, "Dang."
for a license plate.
I mean,
what part? How do we get to that? How do we get to that part? What part of the game is this?
Yeah, how we get to that? Can you step off the car? Why? He steps up and I taps him. Just go on and do what he do. And then my dude said, "Shoot, I'm Charlie." And he was like, "Okay, let me see. Run your name." Well, you have you're not whatever his junior age was at that time. He was like, "No, that's the wrong person. That's the wrong person. That's my junior.
Yeah.
I'm senior." Turn around, put your hands up. Wait a minute. Do my junior have my junior living in LA at that time? So it's like, he got this mixed, a different mixed up name? Oh, you're not being we're just being detained. So they run stuff, bleep, bleep, bloop, bloop, bloop. You hear the little thing, and now next thing you know, he's getting, they're taking the handcuffs. Like, you can go.
They're just trying to get lucky. That's all that was. See, that's unnecessary. That's the stuff that I be talking about.
See, stuff like that. So stuff like that. He was like, man, and I can tell he wanted to just, but then they get intimidated because he steps out the car. They was like, "Dang, you tall," because he's 6'4".
Okay, you like him tall.
Now
That's
you want to
okay.
detain him because
Donald was tall too. I remember.
he's stupid. Yeah, he's stupid.
I ain't mad at you.
So, you dark skinned, you tall, you get intimidated. I said they did that because they was intimidated. You getting out that car and all of a sudden they had to look up. Put your hands behind. For what? So, stuff like that, yeah, I think men got it hard.
Absolutely.
Women got it hard too. That's a different perspective. But I think men have it hard. Your police getting shot up for nothing. You scratching, they shoot you. It's just, yeah.
Girl,
so that's
you could have done this part by yourself, to be honest with you, because that's exactly the way I feel. I mean, I mean, but I don't want to be biased because I'm a male, but that's the way I feel. But I acknowledge that women definitely have their challenges too. That's why I named it His Pain and Her Pressure.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But together it is our race. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that the solution to that dilemma is to understand that we both got it hard. And as soon as we get away from thinking that everybody's trying to run game on one another and whatnot, and just understand that, look, we want to live happily ever after. If whatever that means. You know what I'm saying? However that is. But I know in the Bible it says that you and I may be mutually encouraged by each other's faith. You understand what I'm saying? And that way we build faith in one another and walk that out. You understand what I'm saying? So you mentioned your man. I know, I believe y'all thinking about getting married and everything else. I hope that y'all do. I hope that he does realize he's got a good one in his life, because I know how you revere him, and prayerfully he does the same for you. You know what I mean? So I just want to thank you for your time. You went above and beyond. And I mean, I simply could not think of a better first guest to have on here. And you came through and you saved the day. This has been a long time coming. We full disclosure, we did it a couple times before, but technical difficulties. But here we are again. We've got
that's okay. Third time is a charm. We got
definitely a charm. So I'm gonna close by saying once again, shout out to Shy, shout out to Beat Up, where you are, and shout out to you for taking care of your mom, your dad. And being who you are to your nieces and nephews. You never know what they may do for you. You know what I mean? I hope they give you your flowers while you're here and let you know how much you love. You know what I'm saying? But then I gotta.
Yeah, they do. They steal my babies.
I gotta do this and say shout out to the best high school in the Richmond Unified School District, Kennedy Eagles.
Man,
class of 91 would never be outdone. Just remember that. But we love all y'all Eagles, though. You know what I mean? So
yes. Yeah, we love all y'all.
This and I'm just asking that y'all do so too, especially if you made it this far. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and also check out the With That Being Said podcast. You can hear more of She on there, her partner in crime or partner in pod, Chuck Lounge.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And don't forget to double back to this, though. You know what I mean? Always sharing real talk about real dilemmas that happen to people all the time. You know what I mean? But the thing about it is that it helps us to become better. You know what I mean? It's good to be good, but it's better to get better. So until the next time.
Oh, of course. Yep. Peace.
Tired of running, tired of fronting, trying to be good in a world that don't love nothing. Hey, DJ Lee Mac, don't play with it. Yeah, I've been trying to do right, even when wrong feel easier. It's for every soul in the middle, the good ones. I'm fighting temptations, they keep knocking at my door, trying to walk by faith, but the devil won't war. I'm the good one, caught in the middle of the flames, Bible in my right and the left the pain. I wanna rise above it, but the weight too strong. Still I sing through the night till the break of dawn. I'm the good one, yeah, the lemma of a good one. Woke up in guilt, slept next to regret. Tried to pray last night, but the bottle ain't left yet. Matthew 5 said let that light still show, but it's hard when your past still pulling on your soul. I lost friends trying to chase peace. Proverbs 3, trust the Lord, not the streets. Tired of the lies, tired of the mask. Romans 8, all things work, even the bad. I'm fighting temptations, they keep knocking at my door, trying to walk by faith, but the devil won't war. I'm the good one, caught in the middle of the flames, Bible in my right and the left the pain. I wanna rise above it, but the weight too strong. Still I sing through the night till the break of dawn. I'm the good, yeah, the lemma of a good. She said she loved me, but her love fell lost. Ephesians 5, I gave her everything it cost. I prayed, I cried, I stayed up nights. She was out in the club, I was reading Christ. My cousin got killed and I ain't been the same. Exodus 20, but I still feel pain. Tryna keep cool, but the heat stay close. Philippians 4, but I'm shaking like a ghost. I'm not perfect, nah, but I'm tryna be. James 1:12, still holding my peace. I walk alone, but I ain't weak. He walks with me, he walks with me.
Now I teach the young ones, tell them stay true. Jeremiah 29, he got plans for you. Even when it's rough, even when they hate. Isaiah 41, don't fold to the weight. Used to talk pain through punchlines, now I sing truth through lifelines. I'm still here, not by chance, but by grace. I still dance.
I'm fighting temptations, they keep knocking at my door, trying to walk by faith, but the devil won't war. I'm the good one, caught in the middle of the flames, Bible in my right and the left the pain. I wanna rise above it, but the weight too strong. Still I sing through the night till the break of dawn. I'm the good, little lemma of a good one. Still standing, still fighting. Ain't perfect, but I'm trying. This for the ones who stay soft in a hard world. You're not weak, you're just a good one.
I represent the Yay area.